In this video, I want to talk about the record meter slider bar. You know, the little slider tool that you can set when you're about to record. Sometimes it sticks all the way to the right or at 0 dB, which is no attenuation at all, and you can't move it. Let's talk about that right now. Hey friends, Mike Adams here with Learn Audacity. Check out the screen that I've got open here. This is Audacity 3.4.2, which as of this recording is the latest and greatest production version. And you'll see that on my record meter toolbar, my recording level slider is all the way to the right. It's at 0 dB. In other words, boy, I could really be clipping. I'm not, but I could be. Well, if I bring my mouse over here to try and move this, it's stuck. I can't do anything with it. So let's talk about why that is. If I come to my audio setup button and I look at my recording devices, I have several options in here right now. I've got my ATR 2100X USB microphone, which by the way is a really good microphone. It's this little guy right here. See this? USB. It's got USB and XLR. Runs about $50, $60. Very good microphone, especially in entry level and even beyond that. I use this on the road sometimes and the quality is really good. So enough of that. But that's my ATR 2100X microphone. Right now I'm selected on my Rodecaster Duo, which I really love. I've been using it about 2 months. I also have available in here for other interfaces my MacBook Pro built-in microphone and my Zoom H6. Here's my Zoom H6. I look at it. I've had it for several years. I've got the XY microphone adapter on it right now just for simplicity as I do this demonstration. So I don't have too many cords on my cluttered desk, which I have a very cluttered desk at the moment, and I don't want to get tangled up in cords while I'm doing this video. So if you come in here and look at your recording device or your playback device, or if you want to see them both, you can go to audio settings and that'll bring up everything. If you don't see your device listed here in these drop down windows, there's a simple solution. It's probably because you plugged a device in after you started Audacity. Whenever Audacity starts, it scans your audio hardware and it puts it in this list. If you plug something in after you start Audacity, it's not going to see it. But you can go to your Audacity setup button and you can rescan audio devices. And it just goes out that fast and rescans them. You can also come up to the transport drop-down menu and do the same thing. So once you get your devices in there, they should all be appearing. Now let's go back here to my recording device. Again, I've got the Rodecaster Duo chat set up. I'm going to start silent monitoring again so that I can see my level while I speak. Now, let's change this. Let's change this to my MacBook Pro internal microphone. It takes it a couple of seconds. Audacity is going out and going to grab that. You'll see that my volume slider is still pegged at a 0 dB until I move my mouse up into that toolbar. As soon as I move my mouse up into that toolbar, that slider releases. And it goes to the last known position that I had it when I was using that particular device, in this case, my internal microphone. If I go back here now to enable silent monitoring, you can see that I am monitoring. My volume slider is working good. I can bring it way down here. If I want to attenuate my audio signal even more, I can bring it down even more. I can run it all the way up if I like clipping and I want to clip. I can do that, which I don't know why I would want to do that, but that's a possibility. Now, let's take another look here. Let's go back to the recording device, and this time, let's pick the ATR 2100X, which is a USB microphone. Again, it's plugged into my computer via USB. There's no microphone interface. It's straight into the computer via USB. Let's start monitoring again. And you'll see here that my slider, as soon as I move my mouse through that bar, I must have hit it just a little bit. My slider went to the last known position that I was using with this microphone. So it's evidently keeping that information. And again, I can bring it way down if I want to reduce my audio to something unuseful, or I can bring it back up again and leave it set higher. I am talking into the microphone right now and I'm clipping, and that's not good, but I can bring the volume right back down again. very low down in here because this is a very sensitive mic and I'm very close to my mouth. So that is that. Let's turn that off. Now, let's come back up here to my Rodecaster Duo chat again. And we'll give it a second to do its thing. And then when we're ready, if we move the mouse up into the slider toolbar area, that volume slider is going to peg at 0 again. And there it goes. It pegs at 0. I can't move it. If I come back to silent monitoring, I can see that I am still monitoring through this microphone, but I can't move that level. Why is that? Why does it do that? Well, I think the reason that it does that is because if you're using an audio interface when you're recording, you should be setting the gain in the audio interface, not in Audacity. Set the gain in the audio interface before it ever hits your computer, before Audacity ever sees it. Get your gain level set properly there using this silent monitoring feature. And this makes sense to me because Audacity is moving that attenuation, that built-in attenuator, or that built-in volume slider, it's moving it up out of the way so that it's not even in the picture when you're using your audio interface. Because again, you want to set your gain on your audio interface. Now, here's my disclaimer. I'm on a Mac. I don't own a Windows computer. If there's something else going on in Windows with a driver issue or something like that, I don't know. I abandoned Windows Computer way back when, several years ago, because I got tired of trying to find drivers and the constant updates that happened with the operating system. I went to a Mac, and I have no intentions of going back. So this is only happening for me on a Mac, and it's only happening for me on my Rodecaster Duo interface simply because, well, let me put it this way. I only have one other microphone interface, and that's my Zoom H6 that I showed you a minute ago. So let's go to the Zoom H6, and let's see what it does. I'm going to go back up to Audio Setup. I'm going to go to my recording device. I'm going to select the Zoom H6, and we'll give it a couple of seconds to do its thing. Now, here's the one exception to what I just told you. If I bring the mouse up into the record meter toolbar, that slider is going to move. And there it is. It's moved right here. Let me enable monitoring again. It's right here. If I bring this up and I start talking into the XY microphone adapter, let's bring some gain up here in the adapter itself. It is allowing me to move the slider around, even though I am recording through the gain on my Zoom H6. Sorry, I had to get my thoughts there for a second. And I've noticed here, this is another little anomaly. Hello. I have noticed that the volume slider, when I'm using my Zoom H6, doesn't seem to be all that sensitive. There's not a lot of change until I get way up here, and then I go into the red. So it's kind of down here and just sort of hangs out down here. Now, here's what I'm concluding from this, at least for my system. Maybe yours is different. My Zoom H6 is old. I've had that 6 or 7 years at least. It's a workhorse. I don't ever plan on getting rid of it. I've gone to the Rodecaster Duo because, well, it's a Rodecaster Duo, and I absolutely love it. But I'm keeping my Zoom H6 with me just in case I ever need it again or I get in a situation where I'm going to need it again. It's very portable. So I think, this is just me thinking, I think because my Zoom H6 is older, that maybe Audacity isn't recognizing it for some reason as a true audio interface. Maybe there's some kind of electronics or data going on in the Rodecaster Duo where Audacity sees it and moves this slider up out of the way. I don't know. Again, I don't have a plethora of microphone interfaces. I don't have a Scarlett interface. I don't have any of that to test it with. But you could test it on yours and see if that's the case. If you have some other kind of interface, try disconnecting it. Try going USB directly into your computer. Try going with the internal microphone just to mess around with it and see if it releases that slider, because it did for me. And that answered a question that I had for quite a while. It was kind of a mystery to me why that would peg, but now it makes sense. I want to adjust the gain on my audio interface when I'm using an audio interface. I don't want Audacity getting into the way. So anyway, that is it. That is all I have for you. And so I'm going to let you go. And I hope you all have a good rest of the day. And until next time, bye.